My first day on the job was the first day we were all working remotely, and I was so impressed to see how the newsroom really pulled together to make sure we maintained our standard of excellence even though we were all working from home. Our journalists are working tirelessly to make sure that we are still putting out a great paper, and they're doing a wonderful job.
This is not like covering a tornado where you have the tornado one day and then it's all about the recovery after that. Instead, we're in the middle of the tornado and we don't know when the tornado is going to be at its worst.
I've had superintendents tell me that there were no rules written for this year, that every teacher is a first-year teacher this year, and every superintendent is a first-year superintendent.
I've been covering how colleges are dealing with the pandemic, both in how they're closing campuses and refunding room and board to students, and also just struggling financially with less in state appropriations and uncertainty about whether students will enroll in the fall.
Never covered a story like this in my 35 years at the newspaper. Unemployment claims have gone from less than $2 million a week to probably close to $20 million a week.
I do a lot of my work in virtual meetings as opposed to actual meetings. And all of these tools help me to stay connected, to stay plugged in to the communities that I write about. But at the same time, it leaves me personally feeling a little bit disconnected.
My job is usually traveling Arkansas. I consider all 75 counties my beat. I drive around Arkansas. I talk to people. I visit with people. I go to meetings. That's the problem now. I guess I could still drive around Arkansas, of course, but there's nobody really to talk to. There are no events to attend. They've all been canceled.
One way my job has changed because of the pandemic is I'm really asking the prospects how it's impacted them, and it has impacted them quite a bit because the NCAA enacted a dead period March 13th, and it's set to expire May 31st. And I tend to think that that's going to be extended, and what that has done is it's not allowed them to go visit college campuses and get to talk to the coaches in person, visit the facilities, the campuses, and that goes a long way in helping them make their college decision.
All the things that we usually cover in the spring and summertime ground to a halt, except outdoors. It remained open, and it was, overnight, the only active beat in the sports section.
I'm part of a team reaching out to family members of people who have died of the coronavirus, just trying to hear their stories, what their experience was like with treatment, and who these people were. We want to make sure that their life is a story, not just a number on a screen during a press briefing.
I'm known for my weekly column that's called Let's Talk. In that column, I have been doing kudos to all the people who have been on the front lines during this time. Of course, our health workers. I did a column shout out to grocery store workers, and most recently I have done a shout out to those 2020 graduates that will not be able to graduate in a traditional sense.
We are having more readers every day than we've ever had before on our website, and that shows me there are people out there who want to know what's going on, and the only way to get information is to come to organizations like ours, which takes the time to invest in a large staff covering this from every angle and working really hard to make sure everything we put out is credible, factual, and careful.
Our objective is to tell you this is the kind of thing that's going on so that you can be informed, so that you'll know this is when things are going to get better.
And take a fishing trip with us, take a hiking trip with us, take a canoe trip down a river with us, and just kind of get away from it all for a while.
It's a trying time on all of us, but I can promise you this, every day, every person at the Arkansas Democrat Gazette gets up and gets prepared to give you the most in-depth coverage of all the news, whether it be the coronavirus or the Arkansas Razorbacks. It doesn't matter.
I really love serving my community, especially in times like this. And I really hope my community knows that I am here for them.
For all of us who are going through these trying times, which is all of us, I'd just like to say, hang in there with us. We're going to hang in there with you.
This is a really critical time for our newspaper, and I want to thank our subscribers for supporting our journalists in our newsroom.
Also, it's pretty important to say thank you for reaching out, for taking our phone calls and talking to us about your experiences and what you're seeing, because without people willing to share their stories with us, we just wouldn't have anything to write. So thank you.
I would just like to thank all those readers who have stuck with us during these interesting times. I really appreciate your readership. You've kept the emails coming, you've kept the feedback coming, and I just look forward to better times, getting back on an even keel with you, and believe you me, I'll be out there doing what I've always done.
Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for being a reader during these very strange times for all of us. And know that working from home, we're still here with you.